Good morning, my fellow yoga travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. I always like to talk about affirmations. I work with them on an ongoing basis. I suggest you find out your way of doing it. But the key is that most people dwell in negative thinking. And the idea is not to feed it or nourish it by wrestling with it. That's when they say resist ye not evil. That just gives it further life. So you destroy it by withdrawing its power, which is the power of your attention. And you starve it to death by refusing it expression. Once you realize nothing can permanently deny its own nature, and once you realize you have healing power, your mere presence heals and blesses with no special effort on your part, just the deep spiritual essence that you have, let it radiate, be free. That's why they say you pray in secret. That's where you have dominion in your own mind. That's the secret place of privacy with your own thoughts. No one else knows what's going on there except yourself. Make the best time, make the best of the time that you have when you're in your silence. Now, I like to review on an ongoing basis the four main archetypes. I call it the great code within yourself, what I call the king, the warrior, the lover, the magician. Of course, it's the queen, the female warrior, the female lover, and the female wise woman. It's the same thing. But they correspond in my mind to the four main yogas: Raja Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. So I like to go over that again and again because these archetypes are so important for you recognizing the potencies and powers you have inside yourself, or to recognize where you're weak in these areas and how you can get help in firming up the potential that you have. So the first thing I always like to talk about is what I call the king, the part of each person that instinctually sits on a throne of power, decides, rules, and its job is to nurture, to bless, and to liberate everybody. It has a centering function. If you're not focused in your inner monarch, whether it's the king or queen, then you don't know what you want. You don't have a vision for the future. And a lot of people think they know what they want, but if they don't decide, if they're waffling, nothing happens in their life. Now, in order for the king or the queen to make a good decision, you have to have what I call the inner magician or magus, the wise man, the wise woman. They're the part of you that sees clearly, that has vision. They also serve the function of initiating you in and out of sacred space. So when you're not clear, when you say, I don't know, I'm not sure, that's the function that's not working, because that's the cognitive line of development. Just as the king and queen are the nurturing line of development, then the part of you that's a jnana yogi, that use your mental faculties, your intelligence, to find wisdom, knowledge and wisdom to serve not only yourself, but of course the healing of the community. And sometimes there's no difference between the wise person in you and the ruler in you. Sometimes they're at odds with one another because you don't give them the information and the decision is not an informed one. But you have intuition if you follow your inner magician. So that's the jnana yoga part. Now, once the part of you sees and has vision and passes it over to the king and queen to make a decision, then you delegate responsibility, and now you come into what I call the warrior part of you, the doer, the actor. That's where you have the capacity for not just aggression, but for serving a cause, for having a transpersonal end, right? The throne that's worthy to be loyal to, that you're willing to sacrifice yourself for. So, of course, when it's uninitiated, this energy can be very, very destructive. And if you're passive and you don't have enough aggression to go towards your goals or create boundaries for other people who might encroach upon you and prevent life and culture from happening, that's a very, very important part of your warrior energy, to say this far and no more. And so focus, warriors are very, very good at skillfully getting what they want done, like your master sergeant, get her done, son. So you understand how to set a goal for yourself, strategize, and do it. And then that's the karma yoga part of you, because you're serving a cause greater than yourself, selfless service. And then, of course, it all ends up in what I call the lover quadrant. So just as the warrior is the capacity for aggression, the lover is the capacity for affiliation, embodiment, intimacy, connection, relationship, and of course, play and joy. So that's the Bhakti Yoga part. The warrior is the Karma Yoga part. The wise person is the Jnana Yoga part. And the inner monarch is the Raja Yoga part. You put them all together and you have a balanced life. Now, probably most important is the king or the queen, which is another metaphor for the self. All the other attributes are really tendrils, extensions of the self. And you know you're in contact with yourself because your anxiety level goes down. Because once you're in contact with the center, all creativity, all beginnings flows from the center. I hope you find it, and I hope this little 4 model is helpful for you. Have a great day.